Well, that was probably the worst I've seen the Avs play in multiple years. Avs lose to the Washington Capitals 6-3.
Alex Newhook!
Oh boy.
Whoa!
Mika! Before I get into the how and why of this game being terrible, and believe me, it was terrible, remember that it's only one game. The sky is not falling, the season isn't over, this is just one really, really bad game. The Avs will be fine. The season will be fine. This one was just bad. With that being said, I feel like I watched the 16-17 Avalanche tonight. The effort level just simply was not there. The skill level just simply was not there. And maybe most disturbing, the Avs just seem to have their brains switched off. Certainly all of their most important players. Their top 6 forwards were atrocious, and their best defenders were their worst defenders. It was just a nightmare of a hockey game for a team that we have grown used to watching dominate possession of the puck. They got completely cratered in puck possession all night long in this one. They struggled to maintain simple possession, make simple wide open passes 15 feet tape to tape. They couldn't even get pucks in range of their teammates. It was truly awful. And Washington scores the first goal 6 minutes in. You'll see what I mean when I say that I'm not worried about this being a continuing issue. This should be a nothing play. The Capitals have 3 guys deep in their own zone. The Avs have 2 forwards putting on a little bit of a forecheck, but not much going on here. And yet somehow a pass gets sent up through the middle of the ice, perfectly through the Avs defense. And this still should be fine. Kuznetsov receives the puck before the blue line. You have 2 defenders back. It's a little bit awkward for Ryan Murray, who's just coming off the bench and is a little bit out of the play. But Cale Makar normally would have no problem defending this. But for some reason, he just gets absolutely torched as Kuznetsov walks right through him and essentially gets a partial, if not full, breakaway coming in on Compher. He makes it count by slipping 1 5-hole. Look, that's not a very good goal to give up. Obviously, Makar played it terribly, and then Compher gets beat 5-hole. Just going to put it out right here. Compher not going to fault him tonight because the team in front of him was just a hot pile of garbage. So, yes, there are a couple of goals where maybe you would have liked him to stop them, but it's really hard to judge a goaltender in a game like this where the Avs just didn't do anything to help him. In full, the Avs get outshot 19-5 in the first period. So, that's bad. They got outscored, outmetricked in pretty much every single statistic in the game. The only one I can find which they were even with Washington on is posts, as both teams did hit a post in this game. So that's something. Alright, if you're looking for an actual team-wide positive for this game, the penalty kill was good. You have to reach pretty deep in the bag to find that one, but the first penalty kill opportunity for the Avs is not just good, it's great. A pure individual effort here. Compher, playing the high forward on the penalty kill, gets his stick up and gets a piece of a pass here to turn this around, and then turns on the burners and cuts to the net. Just goes hard. Straight up power forward move, wins the position, manages to hold onto the puck, and then a beautiful shot glove side to finish it. That's right, folks. The Avs scored a shorthanded goal before they scored a power play goal this season, but more importantly, JT Compher is back. There are a ton of questions on whether he would be able to bounce back from last season, and through 3 games, not only has he bounced back, he may legitimately be the Avs' best player at this point. Now, I know the Avs roster's been in flux with MacKinnon out and Landy suspended and all of that, but JT Compher has clearly shown up to play this season. And I know if you look at his advanced stats in this game, he got beaten pretty badly, but he would pick up another assist later in the game, so that's a 2-point night for him. And he consistently looked dangerous on the offensive side of the puck. And he also looked like he actually wanted and could do things with the puck. So that's a significant improvement from a lot of the Avs roster tonight. The Avs big guns will figure it out eventually. But to have guys like JT Compher going, that's going to be important for the Avs. Unfortunately, Cale Makar didn't seem to figure out anything tonight, and this game went from bad to worse near the end of the first period. It should be pretty obvious this is a dangerous situation. The Avs have all 3 forwards below the goal line, and the puck is up for grabs. In fact, one Avs forward is entirely out of the play here, being knocked to the ice. So, this puck comes loose. It's not clear who's going to take possession of the puck, and as MacKinnon loses the race to the puck, Makar, instead of backing off and this being a nothing play the other way, decides to YOLO pinch forward, does not make the play, and all of a sudden it's a 3-on-1 based on that bad decision, with Sam Girard being the only defender. Not a whole lot more to this play. You can't really ask Girard to do much about this. Just a little quick back and forth, and then Compher is going to get beat on the blocker side. Look, I know Cale Makar supposedly has a hurt hand, with that picture of it being all wrapped up floating around, and that's not great, but a hurt hand does not explain terrible decision-making from Cale Makar. He still has a fully functioning brain, and that was just a terrible pinch. I don't know how to explain it, and for a lot of the players in this game, I don't know how to explain what happened, but just not a single thing was going right. They just did not look like the Avalanche that everybody knows and loves. The start of the second period actually looked okay for the Avs. Those first 5-ish minutes were probably the best hockey of the game for Colorado, and it paid off, at least in the immediate, but again, you'll see the players doing the work, getting rewarded. It's not the Avs' top six. Not going to get any credit in this clip, but Tyson Jost did a great job getting the zone, winning the puck, and keeping the Avs alive in the offensive zone so that this play could happen. Byram just dumps this in deep, and Logan O'Connor is going to be the man to go and get it. Not only does he get it, he works it out from behind the net and creates a ton of space. I love this little play that they run here. O'Connor going out towards the boards. Helm cuts in front of him, almost creates a little bit of a screen to give Logan O'Connor space, and then Helm goes and finds the soft spot on the ice. It works out flawlessly as O'Connor curls up. He has a ton of space to work with, and you can see the gap opening up to where he can find Helm. He holds on to it maybe a little bit longer than I would like, or maybe he's just waiting for Helm to get well positioned, but maybe could have found that pass a half step quicker. Doesn't matter though, because he makes a fantastic pass right through the legs of the defender. Helm, net front, need to finish these. I mean, that's an entirely gaping net. Just about anyone in the NHL has to score this goal, and he does. So, a beauty. It's great to see these types of goals going in on a night where the Avs' top six and defense is even competent. You probably win this game with a goal from JT Compher and a goal from the third line, I guess. When the Avs are with a normal lineup, that's their fourth line. So, either way, depth did the job. The second period kind of trundled along, and that's where you started realizing the Avs just don't have anything tonight. The disconnects between the players, the poor passing, the poor puck management continued throughout the second period, and you just can feel it when a team was in trouble, and it was pretty clear the Avs were in trouble. Last 6 minutes of the second period, the wheels just come off for the Avs, and they give up 2 goals in quick succession. 3 or 4 critical breakdowns in the matter of a few seconds here for the Avs. First, Ryan Murray gets clean possession with this puck. Should be up and out of the zone, no questions asked, or at least retaining Avs possession. He just totally fails a chip play here. It goes slowly up the boards, but he gets away with it because Burakovsky is there to collect the puck. The Avs remain in possession. Again, this should be easily up and out of the zone, or the Avs retain possession in space. Unfortunately, Burakovsky tries a no-look clear right to the middle of the ice that goes right to Lars Eller's stick. You could not have passed it better if you were a Capitals player. So that's a massive problem, and it gets compounded because at the same time, Curtis McDermott is just floating off into no man's land. I don't understand what he's doing here. There isn't anything to be gained for yodeling up and out of the zone here. Caps have guys back. It's not going to really help for an odd man rush or something like that. So when the puck is intercepted, all of a sudden McDermott's momentum is carrying him the wrong way. He's not covering anything at all. You can see all 5 Capitals in this picture, and McDermott is covering literally nothing. Another miscommunication here with McDermott high. In a perfect situation, if McDermott was supposed to be here, you'd have probably Maltsev curl back and play the defensive position. Maltsev clearly thinking he's the forward, he needs to get out and cover the puck. The defense will take care of the net front. So, we now have no Avalanche players within, 10, at least, maybe 15 feet of the net. So, with Mantha coming across to the net front as Lars Eller's shot comes in, this one doesn't even make it to the net. It goes off of Mantha's skate. Compher has to respect the initial shot and is totally screwed here because McDermott is still at the top of the hashes. It's Anthony Mantha and Darcy Compher. That's it, and it's an easy tap in from there. for Mantha. Avs top line with Tyson Jost out on the shift. I'll get to that in a second. First of all, Nathan MacKinnon is going to win a puck here and could have just sent this. He could have sent it to Jost. He could have stepped up and sent it to Rantanen. He could have chipped it off the boards to a spot where only Makar is going to get to it. Instead, he turns and fires it to the boards where nobody is. Now, I'm not sure if someone missed an assignment and that's where they're supposed to be, or if MacKinnon just panicked through a puck instead of using his eyes and looking. Either way, that's a turnover you can't really afford from your top line. And then weird things happen. Alright, look. The Avs are working on the defensive side here. It's a little bit of a weird situation. As I mentioned, Jost taking a shift with the top line here. I rarely call out Jared Bednar's mistakes because I don't think he makes very many. I think he's a very good head coach, but here he gets burned by trying something different and jumping Jost into the top line. There's a clear miscommunication and misunderstanding of who's supposed to be covering what here. Cale Makar is on the puck carrier right now, and we see Cale Makar just kind of drift by as Jost is circling back to cover something. It's not very clear. Girard was already covering back. By the time Jost turns around and realizes the puck carrier is coming at him, both him and Girard have taken the same man. Kuznetsov gets to walk all the way into the face-off dot as Jost continues to back off in panic, and then Kuznetsov fires a shot that beats Compher clean. It's just a bad defensive miscommunication all the way around. It's just bad hockey, and I'm not going to go into it a whole lot deeper than that. I don't expect things like this to happen very often, and if they do start happening with any amount of consistency from game to game, the Avs have a big problem that needs to be addressed, but we are not there yet. So, it's a 2-goal game. Maybe there's still a glimmer of hope in the third period that if the Avs can get themselves together, they can get back in this hockey game. No. 40 seconds into the third period, anything like that is immediately crushed. Mikko's defending here, and his stick is going to get yeeted. From there, Sam Girard is watching this play develop. He sees it happen. Now, as the shot gets missed, rebound comes out, and Girard collects it. If you're a beer leaguer, I get it. You're not going to be hyper aware of where your teammates are. You're not going to know exactly what you can and can't do with the puck. That's why you're not in the NHL. If you're an NHL defenseman, you got to be aware here. Or if you're not aware, you got to be able to use your eyes. Girard has to know Mikko is picking up his stick here and is not going to be ready to receive a pass. He has other options. He could go up quickly to the F1. He could go off the boards and out. He could flip it out. There are a ton of options that he could go with here. Instead, he doesn't check. He just kind of slips and tries to throw it to Mikko, who's never going to be able to collect this puck because he had to pick up his stick, and it's a turnover for Colorado and a puck that should be out of the zone easily. From there, Washington can kind of work it around the perimeter however they want, so the Avs are panicking to try to scramble back on defense. The shot comes in, Compher gives up a pretty bad rebound if we're being honest about it, and it's a tap-in goal. Look, there are a million half excuses for this game. It's MacKinnon's first game back from his COVID pause. Makar's hand, Landeskog's still out, Nichushkin's still out, Taves is still out. If you have to play guys like Curtis McDermott, there are excuses top to bottom, but none of the excuses are good enough for a game where the Avs' best players, at best, were invisible, and at worst, actively hurt the team. I've said multiple times already this game doesn't matter in the bigger picture because this game needs to be a one-off. The Colorado Avalanche cannot play another game like this probably for the rest of this calendar year. They need to go to January 1st of 2022 without looking like this again. Then, no big deal. If they look like this again soon, if they look like this again on Thursday, big problem. And I don't think they will. We know this team is better than this. You expect this team to be better than this. And I think most importantly, they know that they're better than this and expect more of themselves. And the Avs' last goal of the game, I think, shows that. Something that had not existed for this entire hockey game. In the last 5 minutes, the Avs get to go on the power play, and the connection that we are so used to seeing. Mikko and MacKinnon come together on the power play to score a beautiful goal. And it just kind of made myself breathe a little bit and saying, right, this team is still good. This was just a weird night. Literally one successful possession, the Avs score a goal here. They win a puck battle up along the boards. MacKinnon is the one who eventually comes away with it, and then he managed to hold onto the puck and not lose it for more than a couple of seconds. All of a sudden, Washington's on the back foot. They're scrambling. They overcommit to the center of the ice, leaving Mikko in his spot, wide open. Mikko unloads, and it makes it look so easy after a game that was so hard for Colorado. So while it's too little, too late in this hockey game, still something positive to take, knowing that, hey, the Avs top guys are still pretty good, at least when they have their head screwed on straight. An empty netter from Alex Ovechkin would make the 6-3 final official. All the goals in the world I would love to give to Ovechkin. I hope he chases down Gretzky's record, because that's what we all want, right? That's it for this one. This is just an abhorrent hockey game. One that cannot be acceptable as it stands, and certainly if you play anywhere this poorly again anytime soon, heads need to roll. Thank you for watching. Go check all of our post-game content out at thednvr.com. I am Rudo, and I do not need to watch another hockey game like that anytime soon.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the dog and Gabe the babe. The fun isn't over yet, it is Avalanche time.